If you're truly an improviser, you can work with anybody. You can get on stage with a broom and make that broom the most funniest broom ever. I always said I'm very passionate about improvisation, and a lot of that comes out in my work. My calling is entertaining people and making people feel good. You don't want to be Darwin, dude. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. This is the second city audition I'm going to. It's Outreach and Diversity's auditions that they have for minority actors in the city to bring more minorities into the theater. In this place, and in a lot of places, it don't matter how good you are. Truly, your talent does not really matter. You could be the most talented guy in the world and never get hired. A lot of times, these kind of gigs, these kind of jobs go to the most determined, the most committed person with the most heart, and the most dependable people. Dependable people get hired for these things, and like I don't think I've really proven myself dependable in their eyes when it comes to certain shit. I got my own stuff going on. Like I've worked my ass off at trying to build my own, work. Just build my own work, build my own body of work, and does not depend on anybody to, just hire me or like, you know what I mean? Just like, I'm just going to go get it for myself. And when you do that, that's when they take more interest in you, and that's when they want you to come around and do stuff. And it's like, I ain't got no time for y'all. You know what I mean? I really don't have time for y'all, but at the same time though, it's like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not just take advantage of the opportunity? If they're gonna give you the opportunity, you might as well go ahead. Because I'm gonna tell you, dude, there's a lot of people in this community who would love to just be invited to come audition for them. And it's like, I gotta remember that. I'm just like, dude, think about how fucking fortunate you are, because it's like, I know a lot of guys, white guys, black guys, white girls, black girls who are like, man, you going to Second City? Man. So like, just be happy and just count your blessings, you know what I mean? That's really all I can do. That dinosaur is a black man. Ow! Preach from preach!
Yeah, gonna have to dispose of this.
My security will do a public enemy dance and get rid of this black dinosaur. Oh shit.
Please do.
I was kidding, right?
Very tribal.
My brother. I'm sorry. I know, fair comment. I'm gonna pay you for it.
You're gonna pay us on pay?
Just don't tell that motherfucker Jesse I came by here. Don't tell Jesse Jackson I came by here.
Don't say a word.
Keep that for yourself.
Brother, can I get something?
And you,
Minister, do you think you can get some other people to help you?
all these Southside Negroes and a worth a nickel. Come on, let's get this motherfucker out of here. This is your boy. That's me as a little one. I officially started this shit.
This was a broad strategic plan. It's very, very smart.
See, I want to say Minnesota so bad because, like, in the hallways, in the lunchroom, in the cafeteria and shit, in classrooms, that's when I was like, that was my stage. You know what I mean? It was hallway clowning, classroom clowning, cafeteria freestyle rapping with my buddies and clowning, football practice. And more clowning, tackling, beating people up and shit, clowning, and just having fun. I think that's senior year. It's me and my old man right there at the senior award night. I actually got an award for perfect attendance. Perfect attendance award, dude. Come on, man. Never missed a day of school. You couldn't miss school, because if you weren't at school, that was like, God forbid if you missed out on like Nick Holt slipping down the stairs, or like Jamar Wright, like and these are like all my buddies from high school, you know what I mean? It's like you just couldn't miss a day of school, because that was like straight hangout. School was the best hangout, man. Dude, we had so much fun at school, man. You just couldn't miss it. You had to be there. I grew up here. I was born and raised in Chicago, and spent like 8 years of my life in this house And then my old man got custody of me, and we moved to Broadview. I missed my grandparents because at the time they were raising me and my sister. My mom is mentally ill, schizophrenic, and she couldn't really take care of me and my sister the way she wanted to. You know what I mean? It wasn't her fault she got sick, but she couldn't take care of me and my sister, so my grandparents, they stepped up and like took care of us. This is me and grandma. Grandparents' Day, 4th grade. My grandma probably is the funniest lady. Bless her soul, man. She was so funny, dude. I'd say about 80% of my humor comes from my grandma and the things that she found funny. Because me and my sister got different dads, you know, we didn't spend, my old man got custody of me, so like I would only see my sister like on the weekends, you know what I mean? That's Dawn. She's 7 years older than me. She used to kick my ass. I'm serious, dude. Like, she would beat me on the way to school, beat me on the way home from school, and sometimes beat me up before we went to bed. My sister was like a mother figure, you know what I mean? Because she, like I said, she used to kick my ass all the time. She probably still can, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, man, she looked out for me a lot. It's a picture of my mom, my old man, and my mom. So fucking funny. My dad is faded. dude, I think that's their wedding reception. My dad is gone, man. After 8th grade, I'm thinking, okay, it's a good chance I'm going to be moving back in with my grandparents, because things were not going good at home with me and my father, and like, I started staying here at my grandparents' house that summer, living here, and out of nowhere my dad's just like, we're moving to Minnesota. I went to 8 schools growing up, dude. Like, I was just ready to be settled, and like, I didn't want to move to Minnesota. I did not want to go. I didn't want to leave my sister. I didn't want to leave my mom and like my grandparents. Like, you know, this felt right. You know what I'm saying? For once in my life, like something like kind of felt like stable and right. And I didn't want to leave that. Now this cat want to move to Minnesota, man. So, all right. So I pack up and we moved to Minnesota. And the reason we moved to Minnesota was so bogus. It was so messed up. It worked out in the end, but like, he had to go and get straight. And Minnesota was the only place where he could do that. My dad had the disease of alcoholism and drug addiction as well. Minnesota's a great place to go for sobriety. During that time, I was living with my aunt and uncle. And man, this was so cool, because like, if I would have stayed here, I would have either been going to like probably Marshall or Manly, one of these schools around here and shit. And those schools are awful, okay? You heard the myths of Chicago public schools, where like these schools are like the epitome of what the terrible stigma of Chicago public schools are. Man, these schools are bad. Like, kids get stabbed, shot, beaten, teachers get hit with hammers, okay? Minnesota turned out not to be so bad, because I went to some of the best high schools in the world. You know what I mean? Wayzata High School. It was there where I met a lot of my best friends that I still have today. Played basketball, and that helped a lot. Sports helped me a lot in high school. It helped me make friends, and it's helped break that ice. You know what I mean? Look at this mark. Sometimes I wish I would have stuck with that. Maybe I'd be better off.
So, let's go.
I'm so fucking happy to be at this challenge.
Yo, don't fuck it up, all right?
You guys were hiring. Oh man, this is great. Let's hammer some nails.
This is a goddamn aerobics routine, man. You gotta go to the house.
It's a house of love. It's a house that hammers build.
Let me tell you something, buddy.
What do you do? I'd say sports and having a sense of humor really got me over in high school. Almost too much. I was having too much fun. Freshman year was a blast, and I was living with my aunt and uncle, and again, just like that stability, you know what I mean, just that foundation. This is me and my aunt Blanche, man. A lot of people don't know my white aunt, but she's super cool, man. Yeah, I was a little guy then. I'm not sure how old I was. She was a lot of fun. Still is. She's super cool. I don't know. I just never had anyone like take that much interest in seeing me succeed. You know, they really, really, really pushed me. My aunt and uncle they are to this day some of the best people I've ever encountered in my life, because like they, not only did they take me in, you know, when my dad was trying to get straight, they took me in and like, they just showed me just a whole new like way of life, like a whole new like way of thinking. She took me to like my first like real play. It was in Minneapolis. I get choked up about it actually, but it was in Minneapolis, dude. At the Guthrie Theater, the Woody Guthrie Theater, and she took me to go see You Can't Take It With You, and she had a front row seat, and she gave it to me, and she was like, "I want you to sit in the front row to see this thing." And I had like no interest in theater or even becoming an actor at that time, you know, but I just thought that it was like so cool, and I sat there and I was from that moment on I was hooked, and like I was sitting next to these old ladies, and they were just so impressed that I was like in the front row, you know what I mean? These old like season ticket holder like old white ladies, you know what I mean? They were just in the front and they sitting down next to me, and they were just so giddy and so happy like to see this like kid have that appreciation for the theater and for the play. So it was real cool, man. And she kind of sparked that interest. I wound up transferring from Wayzata again, another school. Went to 2 different high schools. Left Wayzata because my dad got straight and was ready for me to move back in with him. Just right when I get ready to just kick my feet up, Darwin, oh man, what? Man, here we go. So moved back in with my dad. Got a 2-bedroom just on the other side of town. We still stayed in Plymouth, Minnesota, but like it was just on the other end of Plymouth, like towards New Hope. Wayzata High School was a blast, and transferred to Armstrong, and like was not feeling it at first, but man, did I meet some of the coolest like people at Armstrong High School. Like just met more friends, and like when I was able to like stop doing this so much, when I opened up, that's when everything else around me like started opening up, and like I started meeting cool people, and like became real popular, like this overnight sensation at this school, and just started having a time of my life. And like we would like, man, we'd be in the hallways, me and my buddies just clowning and laughing and just talking shit all day, and like I got perfect attendance. I was telling you, man, I got perfect attendance, dude, and just had a fun time in high school. But played football, and football helped me, man, because I was a very, very angry kid. I hated my father. I couldn't stand my place. Like, just certain things in my life that I had no control over killed me, and football was like my release. You know what I mean? Getting hit, taking hits, just unleashing that this negative energy that I had just bottled up inside me, from being just so resentful towards my uncle, Junior, you know, resentful towards my dad, other people who have wronged me somehow in my life. Like, I've just had a lot of disappointment. Like, I was pissed that my mother was in a mental institution, and like, I would see these kids that I went to school with just like take everything they have for granted. Like, good parents that work for a living, give these kids everything, okay? They eat dinner, you get to see their mom every day, and they treat their parents like shit because they're so spoiled. And that bothered me. You know what I mean? That really, really, really bothered me, because like what I wouldn't give just to have my mother sitting next to me helping me with my homework. You know what I mean? Or like to have my old man at the football games, you know, cheering for me. You know what I mean? My dad never came to games. He never took an interest in the things that I was doing in my life. And like I was doing all these great things. Like meanwhile, I'm the man in high school. I'm cool. Everybody likes me. Hey, Darwin, you know, that bullshit, and like high school shit. And like I go home and I'm nobody. I am the biggest piece of shit that ever walked the earth in the eyes of my father. And when your father doesn't like support you or take an interest in the things that you like, and he literally called it bullshit when I got my first acting gig. I was that hurt. You know what I mean? He never, because he never took an interest in anything, okay? So therefore he didn't know what the hell I was doing, but he had an opinion on it. My father, I should say, wasn't always the best dad to me, you know what I mean? yeah, it was just not fun. But I mean, not all times are bad. There were good times too. But like, I learned a lot from him. You know, I learned what I don't want to be. You know, I learned that like if I ever do have children one day, you know, I know that there's more to being a father than just a provider. You know what I'm saying? And God bless my dad because he provided. There was food in the fridge. There was clothes on my back. You know what I mean? But like, I had the essentials, but like I didn't have like that chummy relationship with my dad. Like I couldn't sit down and talk with him about sports or girls or things like that. Like that just wasn't his thing. You know what I mean? Thankfully, you know, my grandfather was that guy. You know what I mean? Who would listen to me and like, you know, give me advice and talk to me and not so much wait for his turn to talk, but would actually listen to me and hear me out, because in a way he was learning from me too. You know what I mean? And that was his thing. Like he enjoyed people, and he loved to take you in and hear you out, you know, and maybe he'll get something from what you're saying too. You know, that was just kind of, he was humble. It's my grandfather. He just passed away in July. No, I'm sorry, June. Just passed away in June. Yeah, man, he was something else, dude. He was another funny guy. And just, he didn't understand all of this, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like me, like, but he knew it meant something to me, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I kept all this stuff for a reason, so I could show my grandkids one day, you know what I mean? But yeah, he really supported me through a lot of this stuff, and like, always just told me to keep going no matter how tough it get, because it get tough, you know what I mean? My grandfather, his thing was service. My grandfather lived to service other people and like help people, you know, who couldn't help themselves. And like, I guess he figured, well, I'm gonna come over here and cut some of these weeds down, right? So I'm pretty sure he had to walk through here. He was cutting weeds down out here, and him and my uncle. And I heard my uncle calling me, right? Because that's our house right there. You know what I'm saying? I heard my uncle calling me like, Darwin. So I'm like, what do you want? Why are y'all next door? And they were sitting right here on this bench, man. And I never seen my grandfather like that before. He was so weak, and he couldn't respond to me. I was trying to call him, trying to get his attention, you know, trying to get him to focus on me, and he couldn't even stand up. He was just slumped over, you know what I'm saying? And like, he was over here, man, trying to make this yard look better, you know what I mean? Trying to fix stuff out here, and he cut a lot of that stuff down, but like, 82-year-old man ain't got no business chopping down weeds, you know what I mean? But that was his thing though, man. It's a proud man. He couldn't sit still, you know. He was always up and trying to do something, and just doing stuff for other people, you know what I mean? That's what he was all about, man. And I'm actually proud to, you know, I miss him, but like, I'm proud to say that he died for what he believed in, and like, and a lot of cats out here who understand that, you know, punks ain't got no principles, no kind of honor, no. Got all kinds of lightsabers. Got that street lights too. If you ready for it, girl? You ready, baby girl? Yeah, I need lightsabers.
Wait, I need
20,000, cuz. For what? Fuck it, $1. Thank you. May the force be with you. May the force be with you. Yeah. Moved back to Chicago from Minnesota. Went to Columbia College. I met Dan Izzo. I was on Wabash at the 623 building. Dan Izzo heard me just talking shit and riffing, impersonating people and doing stuff like that on the street and just having fun. And he saw me again later on, and I remembered him because he was the improv teacher at Columbia, and I was a theater major, and he taught improv, and I was just picking his brain about improv, and like, while I'm picking his brain, he's going into his backpack, and he had a stack of flyers, and he was like, yeah, if you want to hand some of these out, you know, go ahead, you know, hand some of those out. Yeah, that's my show. I was like, cool. I'm just like so excited to hear what this man got to tell me. And he was like, well, you know, I heard you out there goofing off. Yeah, that's funny. You ever consider improv? You know, he's like, you might be able to save a little coin. Because I know you're paying a fuckload here to go to college here at Columbia, so like you can maybe save a little bit of money by going to like one of the respective improv theaters. He was like, there's Second City where I teach. There's the IO, and there's the Annoyance. And he was like, you take your pick, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I think you might like it. It might be something you can sink your teeth into. I think you dig it. So I gave it some thought, and that bill came, financial aid, all that stuff came in, direct loans, stuff like that started coming in. I'm like, I can't afford to go to this school. I put myself in college, man. I was working at Target full time and put myself in college. And Target wouldn't pay my tuition because I was a theater major. I took a weekend off to film a short film, and the district manager came in and just reamed me a new asshole. He went off on me. He was just like, man, what you want to be, Miami Vice? What you think of Jamie Foxx? I'm just like, dude, I wish I was Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is the best. Why you dissing Jamie Foxx? He about to win an Oscar. No, I'm saying, do you want to do that or you want to do this? I'm just like, don't tell me that, because I'd rather be on the stage right now or in front of a camera than like catching bad guys getting fucking razor blades pulled on me and meth addicts tackling 500-pound shoplifters. You know, I ain't made to be doing that shit. So I made my decision right there. It's like, I am not going to do this with my life. I will not waste my life away and be like all these people who have stopped dreaming and have stopped trying to pursue their dream. I didn't want to be like that. I'm just like, I just don't want to be a waste. I want to do something that meant something. So I signed up for Second City. That was what, 2004? Like, I want to say spring of 04. These are all my IDs. I used to laminate them, dude. I was that serious about this shit. I used to laminate my fucking Second City Training Center IDs, man. Spring of 05. Look at that, laminated. Dedication, preservation, honor, discipline. And the rest has been history. I took beginners classes, auditioned for the conservatory, got in, met Michael Gelman, met Tim O'Malley, man, Norm Hawley. And those guys took care of me, man. They took care of me. And the rest is history, man. I just didn't stop. From there I went to IO. I didn't shortcut anything. Like, I've done everything but the Annoyance, and that bothers me a little bit, but I can't afford it. But I didn't shortcut stuff. Like, I went through and like did what I was supposed to do, and worked at Second City while I was taking some of those classes. And I started working as a host. And you know what a host is? It ain't the worst job in the world, but it ain't the best either. But I learned so much from working there. Like, you'd be surprised what washing dishes, taking out trash, and seating the room, and bar backing and stuff like that. I mean, that shit builds character. You can't like not learn something if you're there every night. If you are there every night, the shit will get stale, but there's at least one moment of brilliance where you're like, whoa, that was fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching the same movie over and over again, but like you find something else in that movie that you didn't see before. Or you start to pay attention to different things, like I've seen The Big Lebowski 100 times, so it's like, oh my god, I just noticed the way Lebowski's sitting. He's got his leg crossed. That's funny. You know what I mean? So it's like you just find different things to laugh at, and like it became that way for me when I was working at Second City. All right, so the rumor is that Will Smith is gonna be playing you in a movie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like just totally just embracing this whole thing of like just becoming Barack Obama. We got the ears. You know what I'm saying? We got the ears. You know what I'm saying? We do. Like the guys like who I learned from, and got like I'm the kind of guy that like watch movies and like TV shows, stuff like that, and just totally just like watch the performances and like see how like certain actors like respond to things. Like, you know, like one of my favorite scenes of all time is in the movie Heat, and Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are sitting across from each other in that diner, and they're just having this like conversation, and there's so much tension that's been built between these two, and I watch how like they react to each other and watch how they listen and like they hang on to every single word. Like Pacino's just, you know, poised, and he's like, you know, I'm starting to like you now. You know, they're talking and everything, and De Niro's just. Different actors do different things, react different ways, and like just have a different method and a process to like what they do. I love David Pasquesi because he can do so many different things, and he's such like just a talented hand on a stage, man. Like that dude is just a theatrical guy, and he's real on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's like expressing himself, you know, he's not just like, you know, flapping his gums. He's like getting big with it, and he's, you know what I'm saying? Like he's acting, and he's, you know, he's projecting, and you know what I mean? It's more to it than just like what's happening, you know, with the words. You know, the words come secondary to the true physicality and the true reactions, you know, that your body is also receiving. In terms of actors, dude, David Alan Grier is second to none. I used to watch him Live in Color, and David Alan Grier, dude, was like it. You know what I mean? This cat went to Yale. You know what I mean? He's an intelligent guy. He can act, and he's also funny. You know what I mean? And so it's like I always thought that was like really cool. And I was really into Chris Farley, of course, and because again, the whole physicality. I loved wrestling, and Farley was physical. You know, he had energy, and and just a ball of energy, and I loved that. Like David Alan Grier and Farley, and Phil Hartman is high up there because he was such a good actor, and like very poised, and like Hartman had like a class about himself. He was like in a league of his own, man. That guy was amazing. It's like, you know, why be mediocre at anything? It's like, you know, if I'm gonna steal anything from anybody, it's gonna be from the best people, and like I'm gonna try to apply it the best way I can, and then put my own spin on it. And it takes a long time to do that, to find what makes you unique as a performer. When you've been watching so many great performers like Ithamar, Brad, Emily, people like that. Hell, even Antoine McKay was one of my favorite guys, and like Claudia Wallace. And when you watch these people, it's like, man, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. I want to be like that. But it reaches a point where it's like, okay, what do you do? You know, what makes you unique? So taking that foundation and like taking the stuff that those guys like and like that I liked and enjoyed, I started watching the things that I didn't like. I'm like, okay, so I like this guy, why? I don't like to watch this guy so much, okay, why don't I like it? And so then it takes a long time to develop, but then you start to develop your own voice and develop what makes you unique, and I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. That's the hardest thing, is finding your voice and like finding what your brand is and what you do. So luckily Chicago was a good place, because like you can experiment here and like try on stuff and try on different things. But don't work, dust it off and go again. That's improv. I never wanted to be like anything but good. Just wanted to be this all around, just a good performer. You know, it's improv. You're gonna be different every time you go out there. You know, like it's not gonna be the same. And I think the guys who are the same all the time, you know, that works for them and that's fine. But it's like me, I just can't. I can't do it. Like I've been told that I yell a lot and I'm angry in scenes and I'm assertive. So maybe that's what I am. I'm the stern, you know, mean guy, the intense guy, or I can be the wild and crazy guy. I don't know. It's just I guess who's ever watching, you know, whatever they think is what they think. You know, I don't give a shit no more. I used to care, and I think that's when I started having more fun with this. Is when I stopped caring. Yeah. And you'd be surprised what like naturally comes out of you, like when you just stop caring about what people are saying, how they critique you. Because for a long time, people didn't know how to talk about me, so they would say that I'm angry or I'm whatever the case may be. I'm just passionate about this shit, you know.
Hey, what's up, old man? Oh, yeah. I'm 18 years old on the street and doing my thing. I got an Obama shirt on, which means I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I got into comedy because I was attracted to like the mystique of like the performers, you know what I mean? And then I would like research them and like hear stories of Richard Pryor Freebase, and then him talking about it and his comedy. And he didn't care if you liked it or not. This was him like expressing himself, and like he was being totally honest about what was going on with him. There was no bits, there was no like, you know, 1, 2, 3 punchline, ABC punchline, kick. That formulated shit that like so many comics do. You know, Richard was like all from here. He was from the heart, and like that's what attracted me to improv, because it's theater of the heart. I'm not even thinking about the 7th time. I'm not even thinking about Second City. I'm just thinking about going there and getting the fucking job done, you know what I mean? That's all I can do. Just going there, do me, let God take care of everything else, you know what I mean? It's no different than any other regular show. We prepare the same way. What's up, bro? You going in?
Yeah, you going in right now?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What time is it right now?
Almost 10:30. Gary Richardson, everybody. Gary Richardson.
I'm sweating and stuff, looking stupid.
Damn, dog.
Man, I got down here a little bit earlier, and then I was like, oh man, I left everything at home. So I had to run home.
Well, you don't live that far, though.
Yeah, I live right up the street, but it was like not enough time to kind of like dilly up. So I was like,
Damn,
I'm
boy.
and my apartment's hella hot. Jesus, I feel like an idiot right now.
Damn, man. You better get, man, cool off some, dog.
But I got it. I'm gonna go in here and get some.
Well, I'm sure you got a little time to freshen up, man. You straight. You look like you just either got out the shower.
I did, actually.
Or you was running from the Klan.
Just got out the shower.
And it's humid out here, too, so.
Yeah. And I don't have AC in my apartment.
No AC.
And I was like sick the other day, so I've been like having like cold sweats and stuff.
All right, brother, get you a Frappuccino or something. Damn. See, he lying. He's sweating because he's nervous. This is the ETC stage I was telling you about. Audition gonna be up in the DeMott Theater. This ain't my first rodeo. Just gotta go in and do work, man. You know? So this is it right here. I started cutting when I was like 16, I think, like 15, 16. I just went out and bought a clipper and just started just like experimenting on like the little neighborhood kids. I used to mess their hair up, man. But I don't know, that's when I first picked it up. But I never went to school for it, never like invested in it like that heavy, other than like buying clippers and stuff. But like my grandfather, this was his way of this was his hobby, and this was like his side hustle. You know, he worked for Reynolds Aluminum as long as, you know, at least for 40-some years. And this was like his like side thing that he used to do. And it'd be guys like lined up all throughout the back, you know what I'm saying, to get up in here. But no, he was an outstanding barber, old school. He liked to use a straight razor and things like that. I never learned that. But I guess how I got into this, just, I don't know, eating like a ice cream, little ice cream thing or whatever, and this popsicle, and just hanging around and just watching my grandfather cut hair all the time. You know, just being around him. You know, he liked to have me around. You know, I'd sweep hair, and it was just enough for me just pulling on his leg and just asking him, you know, like, you know, what does this do? What does this do? You know, what is this? What is this? And like he would tell me, you know, he would break it down to me and show me what it is. And the minute I told him that, I was like, hey, granddad, you know, I just bought a clipper and I'm learning how to cut. Not even a week later, he sent me a box, and in this box was it was an Andis Master like this. He sent me one of those. He sent me a couple liners, a couple adjustable clippers, and the granddaddy of them all, the Turbo 111. He sent me one of those too. I mean, in a way, this is like, you know, this is my income because I don't get paid to improvise. You know what I'm saying? Yet, but who knows if I ever will. But like, it'd be nice. You know what I mean? So this, for a long time, was paying those delinquent U.S. cellular bills and groceries in the fridge and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's been from this. Like this was my solid sole source of income for a long time, and it's a good hustle, man. That's all I can say. But like, it's not like what I want to do, you know, like the rest of my life. Like, yeah, it's a great hobby and I know how to do it, but like, it's not something like I got that much passion for, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care to do this the rest of my life. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, if I ever had boys of my own, you know, I would cut their hair, saves a lot of money, but No, man. Right now I'm heading to the Museum of Science and Industry for an audition/job interview. It works out in my favor actually because I mean that's what I do. I audition for things, you know. That's the life. But to actually audition for a job, like a real job, you know, like some parts you audition for as an actor, sometimes you don't get paid. This is for a job that's gonna pay me, a 9-to-5 job with benefits and tax deductions and stuff like that, you know, like legitimacy is what I'm trying to go for here. You know, this is very important, very, very important that I get this job. Good buddy of mine, Warren Phoenix Johnson, guy I perform in Blackout with, works here also. And I know quite a few guys that work here actually. A lot of fellow improvisers work here. So there was an opening and Warren was just like, hey man, send your resume to this guy. And I sent it and got a call back and told me to come in today. So that's life, man. You gotta know somebody to, you know, kind of open that door for you. And once that door is open, you better get in and you better jam. Right now it's just a job for me, man. Like I just need a steady income right now with all this craziness going on, you know, around the house and stuff. So with my family and everything, I just need a straight up job, man. Because as much as I love improvising, improv don't pay the bills. Seriously, like if I could perform, I mean, I don't want much out of life, man. I really don't. I mean, like, I want a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want a lot, but it's like, you know, I just really just want simplicity. Like, if I can just perform and do what I love for a living and make an honest buck just performing and doing what I'd love to do, then I'm straight. I mean, I'm not on this earth to mop floors or wash dishes or wash cars or repair transmissions. You know, God bless the people who do it because they have to, and like that's their thing, and maybe they're passionate about it. You know, that's just not my calling. I don't feel my calling is entertaining people and making people feel good, and that's what I want to do. And like this job will help me do that, help me supplement my my addiction to improv. I'm just ready to do it. You know, it's like football, basketball, any kind of sport. You know, you get mentally prepared, try to map out what's going to happen in your head, but realistically, it's not going to happen the way you ever wanted to. So just getting out of my own way, and yeah, just getting ready for anything, and just clearing all those walls and all those barriers, and just be free. You know. So yeah, I'll be definitely ready. But you got to envision yourself. You got to envision yourself killing. That's the trick. You got to envision yourself tearing the roof down, and this is kind of what I'm on right now. So I try to picture people winning championships, Michael Jordan jumping in the air, whatever you can envision that's like triumphant, and like even if it's like a crowd of like people like in the United Center or Madison Square Garden like cheering for you and wanting you to succeed, and like you sink that game-winning shot, like stuff like that. It's like what gets me in that mode of like, yes, this is what I do. It's on. So. All comedic actors must have loose facial muscles, loose bones, loose tendons. You gotta have that blood flowing, man. Be jammed up in here, you're gonna be jammed up here, you know what I'm saying? Jammed up in here too, so it's good to get all the stress of the day out and like all that craziness, and just get ready to just focus on one person and one thing, you know, that's like super important. Alright, look, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going out there and playing like it's my last show ever. I'm gonna bleed, I'm gonna sweat, I'm gonna cry. I might fuck a fat bitch or two. I might ride a motorcycle. Hell, I might jump so high, I might run up in Mars. Either way, I'm doing that shit, I'm doing it 100% for you guys. I'm gonna die for you guys tonight. That's all I gotta say. Let's ready, let's fucking do it, let's play, come on. Oh my Lord, 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 Lord.
Put your hands together for Uncle Tom Foolery! Yeah!
This is Darwin the Dream Smith.
White Chocolate Kelly.
We are Uncle Tom Foolery.
We are Hammer Time.
Yeah, right.
Damn right. Let's see here. Wow. Do you maybe have a suggestion of anything at all? This is awesome.
Bootlegging.
What is it?
Bootlegging.
Bootlegging? Bootlegging. I got that Inception.
Ooh.
I got that Lethal Weapon 5.
Oh, I don't know about Mel Gibson no more.
Me either. I got this shit. I got this shit. You better. I got this shit. Shit.
Hello? Hello, officer.
I'll talk, man.
Okay.
Excuse me. You motherfucker out the car.
I knew this was gonna happen.
You shouldn't have said shit.
I don't care how proper you are. You still black.
What? Okay. See.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Guess what? I'm black too. All right. How you doing?
I'm good. Can I ask you why you pulled us over?
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna talk to this cat about it because I know he's a smart one. Don't worry about it.
What?
Man, when I'm on stage, everything is like gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no pain. There's no like it's like that reality. You know what I mean? It's like it's gone. You know, everything from my past, everything that I like stress my future. Like, you know, because we as humans, we like to think so far ahead, and we always think back, and you know, we always, you know, but every day is a gift, and like we have to like look at the present, and like that's what improvisation is, that's what acting is, that's what comedy is being right there. I'd rather be on the streets thinking, sleeping on the Jackson Red Line stop than have a friend like you. I would rather eat my toe jam than be friends with you. Kiss my ass and good night. Is it cool if I sleep here a little bit? I'd rather be honest than anything. You know what I mean? And if you laugh from it, you laugh. It's like, funny is a reward to me. You know what I mean? Funny, like if you get that laughter and if you get that assurance from the crowd, great. You know what I'm saying? That means you connected with them somehow. But you can also connect without getting them to laugh. You know, like it doesn't have to be like you said, funny all the time. It doesn't have to necessarily be like that, you know, to get your point across. I think a lot of people like get too trapped and too caught in jokes and get too caught in funny, and as a result, their scenes suck. You know, you're not there in the scene to be funny. You're there to serve your partner and to create a relationship out of the moment. Characters and relationship is what comedy's about, what improvisation's about, what theater's about. A relationship and a character will go a lot longer, go a lot further than a joke. Like, just a little, like, joke will only go so far, and then the audience laughs, but now what do you got? You just totally fucked me over on stage. You know what I mean? But I think if you're a good performer, I think if you're a good improviser, it don't matter because you're gonna be taking care of yourself anyway. So if you wanna come out and tell your jokes, that's fine. Cool. Tell your jokes, man. Tell jokes. I'ma still be there listening to everything you're saying, and I will be affected, and you might not like what I'm gonna say to you. Ain't no sense in being no fucking brick wall of you on stage. If you're not affected, if you are that bulletproof in theater, improv, traditional theater, I don't care what it is. If you are that bulletproof, you are fucking useless. You are so useless. You gotta be affected by something.
If there were blacks around, you think you would want to point? Just talking. Shit. No real blacks. I shouldn't have named him Mark Ferguson.
Family, I guess. I feel like I'm at Michael Vick's house. Oh, God. Me. Oh, fuck. I just had your mail. I just had your fucking mail. I just want to just be that underdog dude who just cannot get it right. The way Steve Martin was back in the day, and like Eddie Murphy, you know, in some of those movies, right? Beverly Hills Cop, he was losing. As crafty and as, you know, as cool as Eddie Murphy was, as smooth as Eddie Murphy was, he was losing. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like I've prided myself for so many years on just being good. You know, just being a good performer who can just do anything. Because in improv, you're gonna have to do. When you're improvising, you can't just stick yourself in one thing. That's how you get your ass whooped. You know, Bruce Lee said it best, you gotta be like water. So that's what I believe. It's like, no two scenes are alike. You know, you saw that firsthand. Like, with the Blackout show, and then me having to adjust to the UTF show with Mike Kelly. My style is whatever I want it to be. I will make you look like the most important asshole in the room, even if you don't deserve to be. But it's not my job to, as an actor, as an improviser, it's not my job to like so much worry about my style or like what's going on. You know, I just have to depend on myself to and the other person to bring truth to a moment. You know what I mean? That makes any sense. Like, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes to just bring more truth out of what's going on between the two of us. But like, yeah, my style, high energy, vulnerability, good listening.
I like you fire me. You know how many cool things I'm gonna get to do now? I get to use that Bowflex I bought. I get to use the Bowflex now. I'm gonna get all ripped and shit. You're gonna be all fat working in the cube. Suck it.
See, if you let anybody else tell you, oh, Darwin's a lot of energy, he's whatever, you know, but that's mainly what I get most from other people is I'm high energy. So
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a great thing because that energy transfers and like it's fun. I just try to have fun when I'm on stage.
Just follow me. I'll take you to all the bootleg CK1s and body oils and all kinds of cool secrets that you've never fucking heard of.
When I first started out, I was extremely protective of the craft and like, in a way, pretentious about it and like, just wanted to do it right and just wanted to be the best I can be. Just do it right, do it right, do it right, do it right. But like, if you're doing it right, you're having fun. And that's the only right way to do this. If you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong.
Let your wife disappear for 4 weeks, you don't know where she is?
Yeah, that's why I came to you, Detective Ike.
I just feel large, you know, like from years and years of just being told that you can't do it. And like you're too short for basketball, you're too small for football, you aren't tough enough to be a wrestler, you ain't funny enough to be in a comedy. You're not a good actor. You don't do this. You can't do this. You can't. You know, like just being told that. And when I'm on stage, all that shit is like, all that stuff is like on the bottom of my shoe. It's just stomped, and I'm a giant. And I feel like I'm just like breaking down walls, just you know, just tearing down the walls, and that feels good.
That's the thing, man. You know, you always think about what you didn't do when the shit is over. You know what I'm saying? When the show over, you always think about what you could have done better to further certain things. That's what this is about. This is about exploring. This is comedic exploration. One of my biggest fucking pet peeves in this work is that people mistake silence for death. When an audience is silent, that doesn't mean that they're bored. That doesn't mean that they've lost interest in the show. That just means that maybe they're just watching differently. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me sometimes, but it's like you really can't fight that because we're at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Midnight shows, you gotta do what you gotta do to keep that audience awake, and you have to do what you have to do to keep them interested. After these shows, sometimes I'm tired, but I feel good. You know, like I really do. Like I don't feel right if I don't give the crowd like what they paid to see. This was $5. I probably should have said that on this, but like, you know, it don't cost much to come and see us do these things, and it's like I'm just so thankful to God that like people come to pay to see this, and like I want to make sure I give them something when they leave. Just making that fucking connection with a crowd. That's what it's really about. If it's funny, fine. But if you can connect with a stranger who's never seen you or met you before, to me, that's like, that makes this work worth it. And that's like really what makes this viable to me. And like, this is what gets me up in the morning to say that I can change somebody today. I can make somebody different today. Or I can piss somebody off today. Either way, they're gonna leave feeling something from the way I steered them to go. I like being around hungry go-getters. I like being around guys that want to do this and want to be around and thrive off other people who are going to make them better. And I think in order to do that, you got to get over yourself to accept the fact that you can learn from somebody else. I'm going to tell you right now about that wall that you see behind me. All of those guys, to my knowledge, have to learn to be team players. You know what I mean? The work is so much more beautiful when it's a team, when it's a team effort, when one person isn't doing everything. Everyone in this kind of art form. Fuck that. Basketball, football, traditional theater. That's an ensemble. That's a team. You know what I mean? Like that's teamwork. Film sets. That's a team. I think once people know their place and know what they do and what they're supposed to be doing, man, it could be a beautiful, beautiful machine that cranks out some awesome, awesome work. You know what I'm saying? Like, the better the team, in my opinion, the better the work. And like, teamwork is a must in this ensemble. This is an ensemble game, this is a team game. Just like anything else in life, I think. Like, the better you work with other people, the better off you're going to be. And like I said, it took me, and I'm still learning, man. Like, dude, I'm another team I played with in this building, Hammer Time. And God, there's some great performers on that team, and like, I'm learning to accept that. You actually just saw a Herald show. This was Hammer Time's last show. Yeah, it sucks, but that's how it is. You know, teams get broken up, and a lot of guys get shuffled around. They go to different teams and stuff. Like I truly enjoy playing with Hammer Time. I love my coach, and you know, he brought different things out of me and made me a confident, strong player. You know, I felt like I could do anything. And what's up, man? So like, it was it's hard to like leave that. Surprisingly enough, they used improv in the hiring. Well, not to say hiring process, but like in the group interview, they actually used improv games. Like we played the name game and played the pattern game. And improvisers who may see this know all about those games, and like they're super easy once you get used to doing them, but you can tell when people have not had improv training or anything like that, which is most people. You can't expect everyone to just know that shit. Like a lot of people were like shaking up there because they made you improvise and like actually make you like role play in a situation that you'd be in as a facilitator at the museum. So a lot of people were really cool with it, a lot of people weren't, and you could sense just that common fear of public speaking and things like that, just that everyone has. Or like if you don't work that muscle, of course you're not gonna be good at it. Shoot, it was like about 10. Like I have no idea who they're keeping, who they're gonna select or who they pick. Put it like this: I've had great auditions and certain things and not been picked because they're looking for a certain thing. Maybe I didn't give them what they wanted. This is what actually the most nerve-wracking part isn't the actual audition or interview, it's that waiting period. Every phone call you're hoping that it's them, or every email you get you're hoping that it's them, and you're hoping that it's good news. So this is a situation where like I said, like I don't have much of a choice. Like I need a job, like desperately need to find work. You know, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Kenneth Cole, you know, you could be a good-looking bum too. Dude, I was going off pretty hard, but I ain't bashing nobody though. I'm glad you were there because I felt more comfortable.
Right.
I seen you, I was like, I saw your name on the list, I just started laughing. I'm like, oh God. Familiar face.
I thought you were already auditioning when I was talking to you. And then when I went in, and then I saw the list, I was like, cool.
The best scene I had was you and me changing that tire, and it was not by any means going for jokes.
And that was so quick. That was the first scene too.
Yeah, that was the very first scene. And
yeah. I don't feel like I jumped out enough in the thing, and I always feel that way. But this time I was more to be like, all right, let me jump out next. The last time I was about to jump out, they were like, they called my name, and I was like, he said that because I'm not jumping out enough.
How do you gauge that though? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be out there too much, but at the same time, it's like you do want to fucking show that you want to be there.
In this situation, sometimes you got to be Jordan. Sometimes just shoot a million of them. Hope you get a couple to land. Once you get that one to land, that's when you back off. Like, all right, I got my 3. I'll stay on the wall for the rest of the audition's over.
We'll have one quick beer after this. Gonna chew this fat. You gotta chew on it. Right. I'm gonna tell you, bro, you a really fucking good performer, dude. Like, that can't be taken away from you. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're regarded as one of the best performers in the city, bro.
What?
Yeah, you are, dude. Like you respected around here, man.
That's cool.
People respect you, dude, and that can't be taken away from you.
Yeah,
because that's something that you didn't like.
In the end, I got stuff going on.
Yeah, you got stuff going on for yourself.
We got stuff going on.
We got stuff going on, and like those things like cannot be taken away from you, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something said for that, you know, for our own selves. Like,
right.
The only thing, honestly, the only reason, and this is really saying something. Like, this is the only thing that I have yet to do.
Something in Second City, getting that suit.
That's the only thing that eats me alive. It's like I can get up every morning feeling good about the blackout run. The blackout runs, plural runs that we've had. I can get up feeling good about that. Me and Mike Kelly about to be doing Uncle Tom Foolery in that very theater we auditioned in. So it's like that shit feels good to me. You know what I mean? But it's like that one thing that always haunts me and eats at me is that suit, that damn suit. You know? No, I really honestly don't feel good at all about what I did. But the bright side is that I'm still performing. I don't know why I need that validation, man, but I just do. I don't know what it is about that place. Like, it could be just from...
It's got history. It's quite the badge to have. You know?
Yeah, man, but... Dude, I never got into this shit for the badge, man. It's like that sheriff, like that cop that just like got the job just to bust a nigga's head, you know, like. But I actually want to like serve and protect and do good stuff, and like, you know, it's more than a badge. You know what I'm saying?
There's like two types of people, and then there's those people in between. It's like the people that are just off the bat, just god awfully talented, and then like those people that just put in the time, and eventually they'll get it. And then there's all those people in between that have the mix of the two.
I just like proving motherfuckers wrong, you know, too much. And like, I'm about to grow out of that one day, man. But it's like, just stop thinking like everybody's like out to get me and like against me and shit, because they're really not. All that shit's like in my mind. But it's like when you kept yourself so low, you know what I'm saying? Because being a host is like a low job, you know what I mean? Like, that's a thankless job and it sucks, but man, like, just to be that dude that like rose above it all, and like who's to say I didn't? Who's to say you didn't either? You know what I mean? But it's just that extra like little stamp of validation. You know what I mean? You know, just to go ahead and say that I did it. You know? Well, they do callbacks the same day as the auditions, so like, hopefully sometime this afternoon his phone will be buzzing at some point from them saying, hey, come to the callback tomorrow, but it ain't happening. I don't think it's happening. Well, I never give them what they want. I mean, 6-7 times, you know, I've auditioned for them. For some reason, I've just never been able to just get over that hump of giving them what they want from me, what they want to see. You know, I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? If I couldn't get it right 6-7 times, you know what I mean? Probably not gonna get it right now. You know what I mean? Just for them always rejecting me. You know what I mean? Like, them always saying no. It's like it's that fucking fighter inside of me, that spiteful like thing. I can't even, you know, this I'll show you, you'll see, you know what I'm saying, type thing. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Yeah, as much as I'd like to perform there for that place and like add my own history and like do my own thing, it may not be for me. Who knows? But it'd be nice. It really would.
Yes, I am James Earl Jones.
Bullshit! Get the fuck out of here!
Don't leave me.
You just blowing smoke up my ass. I know James Earl Jones when I see him. You don't look like Darth Vader to me.
Not without the fucking outfit.
Who's this faggot you brought with you?
Sidney Poitier.
Believe it or not, I'm actually doing what I set out to do in my life. This is what I wanted to do, and this is why I got into this, because I want to reach out, and I'm just a messenger, man. I'm just a messenger, giving out a bigger lesson. Learn from me. Learn from my faults on stage. Learn from my characters, so you can go home and be better. Man, if I could tell, if shit, see, I'm like Eddie Murphy, man. I don't like giving advice, you know what I mean? Like, if you go do it, you know? If you really have a love for celebrating your flaws and bringing your true heart and the things that you go through in front of people, like if you enjoy doing that, if you like to reveal yourself to the public, then do it. Don't listen to nobody, just do it. You know what I mean? That's That's the only advice I can give. Insecurity is the #1 fuel for a lot of performers, and a lot of cats don't know how to like channel that insecurity. You know what I mean? You can use it against your fellow artists, and you can like, you know, try to bring somebody else down, or you can lend that hand and you know, pull them up. And it's hard when you are not like everyone else, because they want to label you, they want to categorize you, and they want to put you in a box so they can describe you when they talk about you. And that's when things become an issue, when you have your own thing and you don't blend in. And cats look at themselves and, you know, they project their insecurity on you. And I've experienced it. A lot of people that I know have experienced it, and I'm still going through it. But you gotta really, really dig, man, because in the end, you're not doing it for them anyway. In the words of my grandfather, one of them was, don't get bitter, get better. And the other one was, and this is what I'll die with, is never ever feel like you have to prove anything to anybody, just improve yourself. And that is so much easier said than done, but I'm learning. I swear to God, I'm trying to learn, man, and it's hard. It's real important to have that support, especially from your family, because people change on you when you're in this. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't really know who your real friends are, and people you thought were cool with you are, you know, sometimes they turn out not to be. Having someone just on your team unconditionally all the time, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. And like, those are the people who you want to like do good for. You know what I mean? Because they and it's like, you don't owe them anything, you know. As good as my aunt is, and as good as my grandfather was, they never made me feel like I owed them to do this. Like, you owe me, you know, like you have to do good at this. No, it was never like that. It was just like, you know, I'm just glad you're happy and you found something in your life that is worthwhile for you. And if I could ever have children, like if I ever had children, like I'd always, you know, just want them to be happy and find something that they love to do and be passionate. Just be happy, man, because life's too damn short to be so fucking miserable, you know? Like, I'm in this way too deep, and like, it's bigger than me. And it's a lot bigger than the negative, than the negativity out there. My motivation is to like, just do people proud. You know, those mentors of mine who were like, just like, give me one of these and like something like that, and be like, hey man, doing good work, you know, like those people. And like my aunt, like my grandfather, and family members, other family members and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my sole motivation, is to do right by them, and you know, just show them that, like, you know, your time and effort that you spent into making me a better person is not gonna go to waste. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do my best to like do you proud and do you right. And that's really, that's a huge motivational thing for me. The motivation that I've gotten from these awesome people that have come through my life, you know. And there's some not so awesome people that have come in my life too. And it's also kind of motivating to be able to throw up the middle finger at those guys and tell them, you didn't break me. Are you willing to make that sacrifice if you get into this? Sacrificing your beliefs, sacrificing your beliefs on friendship, love. I've been single for a long time. You know, I lose friends every day. Are you willing to deal with that? Are you willing to make that price to get where you want to be? And are you willing to accept the fact that you may not make it where you're going? Are you willing to accept the fact that you may not be Chappelle, that you may not be Eddie Murphy, that you may not be Jamie Foxx? Are you willing to accept that? That's a question I ask myself every day.
Don't go around telling everybody. Don't go telling your boys. Shut the hell up. You want to tell what boys? You my only friend. You my only friend. Did you or did you not go out last night?
If I say yeah, you gonna slap me. If I say no, you gonna slap me.
Well, you know you gotta slap coming.
Keep moving forward. In the beginning, I thought that it could never happen. An Anglo-Saxon with a passion for rapping. My mouth's like a Gatlin, waiting for action. If you talk trash and I'm flashing a Mac 10, but it don't need to get down to that level. Cause I'd rather be an angel than the devil. There shouldn't be another way that it could be settled, or else my Iron Maiden is spitting metal. Most of the time I try to keep my composure, but ignorance of mankind makes me bolder. Stress piles up like pounds on my shoulder. Now I just shake it off cause I'm down like a soldier. You don't know what I've been through in my life or what I'll do for the satisfaction of a game. Listen to this heat and you gon' feel the flame like lo and behold, verses all over the globe. When I touch down your town, all the bodies go cold. Most fold under pressure while I rise to the occasion.